75 kilometres northwest of Condobolin. We run about 3,500 hectares of controlled traffic farming, continuous crop, which just happens to be all in one spot. Eastern half of the place, and then the western half of the place is about another 3,000 hectares of your typical mixed farming, I suppose.
Chris Baker, I'm an agronomist with an independent agronomy company, Baker Ag Advantage, based in Forbes. We service an area of Grenfell in the south up to Warren in the north and out as far as Uablong across to Yagara. I've been working with Roger and Fabian Todd out here for about 16 years in their grain growing business, and working with Roger and Fabian on trying to develop and maintain a low risk, sustainable grain growing enterprise.
As far as legumes go in our rotation, we've tried them all. We used to grow chickpeas. We were finding chickpeas were giving us great chemical options, a great marketing option, but we weren't getting a lot of nitrogen. We weren't getting a lot of benefits for our following crops. We started mucking around with vetch here about 3 years ago, and Albus lupins as well. We really like the vetch with that early sowing option as far as the amount of bulk you can grow, and it just gives us that hay option, A, for feed, to sell, income, and then B, our grassweed emerging issues, as far as resistance, oats and ryegrass. So it's a really effective way for us to tidy up a paddock and then ready for canola the following year.
So in regards to this project here at Roger Todd's, we've looked at early sowing options. So last year we had an early sown vetch crop sown in late March, and that crop was terminated in September as a brown manure, left as a cover crop mulch throughout the summer. 2022 being an exceptionally wet year, the crop probably didn't fill its potential in terms of biomass or nitrogen fix, just given that the conditions were so wet, and hard to believe that 8, 9, 10 months ago we were waterlogged out here. So it was sprayed out in September with the idea that it would provide us an early sowing option for 2023, being wheat. Lancer wheat sown late April. It's been able to do really well on not a lot of rain. I think about 50 mils since the start of June up until October when we're starting to mature. What we're trying to look at in this project is how an early sown crop can basically navigate through that September period of hot, dry weather. The early sowing is a big tick for the vetch. It's out of the way. We've got multiple uses for the vetch. It can be brown manured, it can be taken through to grain, or it can also be run through as a hay crop, which is what has occurred this year.
I suppose as far as vetch goes, it's pretty versatile. Even though we didn't get it in early this year, we still cut quite a bit of hay off it, so it actually surprised me a bit as how versatile vetch can be.
Key learning for me so far in this project is that crop diversity is really the key for us. So whether it's a vetch followed by wheat or vetch followed by canola in that double break system, that if we're having a 4-year rotation, we've got basically one wheat in 4, and finding the pulse, the right fit for a break crop in this low rainfall area has been really difficult over the last 20 years. But I think early sowing and vetch is going to be a really big change for this farming business, and I think that's probably going to be something that's really going to drive profitability on this farm in the next few years.